Hello everyone and welcome back to Reading Paranormal Encounters off of Reddit with KandyCorpse. I am sweating my balls off right now. It is hot in here and I can't have my fan on because that's all you will hear. Even with my headset, that's all you will hear. So as usual, if you've seen my other videos and you know the drill, if not, just a brief overview. I am on a subreddit. This one is Paranormal Encounters. That's where I've gotten my other two from when it came to the actual encounters itself, because these are true stories of unexplained phenomena, and basically it's just recounting your experiences, what has happened to you, etc. Some people post like videos and pictures to go with it, and then people can talk about it and discuss in the comments type of thing. I'm just going to the newest post just because I know for a fact I haven't read those ones yet because it's been like a week or two. This first one, posted by ya boy Nuke. Strange creature encounter when I was a kid. Repost from my old account from another sub. So that sounds interesting. This post reads, "This is a repost from my old account to a different sub that didn't gain much traction 2 years ago when I originally posted it. I was hoping to maybe gain more insight / information / hear any similar encounters. It's a direct copy and paste of some updates. I speak of a girlfriend in the post. I'm now single. I still live in the same house that this occurred in. I'm now 26. I still have occasional nightmares about this encounter, as well as other strange and quite frankly terrifying nightmares in general, as well as bouts of sleep paralysis. I've had those all my life though." Oh, me too, girl. "I gave up my room around 2 years ago so my nieces could have their own separate rooms and begin sleeping on the couch in the living room, right in front of a sliding glass door I speak about in that post, and due to beginning to have night terrors, sleepwalking episodes where I end up outside, and loss of sleep due to the feeling of being watched from outside the house and inside, which both dogs and all 5 cats have done things to make me think there's something in my house. As of 4 months ago, I started to sleep on the floor in my mother's room. I told everyone it was due to her health and me wanting to keep an eye on her and the puppy I got her, keeping her up all night, that I did this. And it's partly true, but ever since I made the transition, the nightmares are less, and I haven't had the feeling of being watched, except for one time when I first started sleeping in there, but it went away and hasn't come back. This is also not my only paranormal encounter in this house, or ever, and if anyone is interested in any of my other experiences, let me know or PM me. I'm glad to share. Thanks, and so much love to everyone in advance." So that's just the disclaimer before the actual Reddit post. I think when animals react, that is very interesting because, like, sometimes an animal will react to you, like, being paranoid or being scared, moving around a lot, but they'll be looking at you. If they're reacting to something, like, for example, a glass door, if you don't have a curtain or something over that, they could be reacting to something outside the door. Entirely possible. Hello all, this is something I encountered when I was about 9 years old in late 2005 / early 2006, so my memory is a little fuzzy on it. We moved into this modular home. I think it's a trailer on an actual brick foundation in a rural area of Virginia in the summer of 2004. It was me, my mom, my dad, my older sister, her husband, and their child / my niece. I stayed home alone a lot after school and on weekends due to everyone having work and my niece going to the babysitter's house. It was never that big of a deal because my grandma lived right across the driveway. We lived down a long gravel driveway that was off of the main road. I can't remember exactly when this occurred, but it was after my dad died in the April of 2005. I was home alone after school one day, watching The Weekenders on Toon Disney with my little Pekingese / poodle mix Clyde in my lap while eating some pizza rolls. All of a sudden are huge, and when I say huge, this dog had no business being as big as he was considering what breeds he was mixed with. Golden Lab boxer mix Rudy that we kept chained in the backyard started to bark. Not as usual, "Hey, I'm out of food, water," or squirrel bark, but it was the violent, scary bark. I looked out the sliding glass door that goes into the backyard and see him at the end of his chain trying to break loose and get at something in the woods. I can't really see what he's trying to get at until all of a sudden some creature walks out of the woods and stops right at the tree line. It was about 4 feet tall, walked on all fours. Its body was similar to a bear. It had brown fur, but its face was its most distinct feature. It was solid white and completely flat. It had 2 black slits where its eyes would be. No kind of nose to be seen. and its mouth just hung open, a black void with no tongue or teeth. I could see from where I was. It looked in my direction. I remember just being overcome with fear and dread when it looked over at me. I started to shake. I was so scared. Before I could even get off the couch to get the landline to call my mom, it just slowly backed back into the woods. Rudy was barking and growling the entire time it was standing there, which was about 2 minutes total, and for at least 10 minutes after it left my sight, before he finally calmed down. I called my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, my aunt and uncle that lived behind my grandma, and then my grandma before somebody answered. She told me to walk over, but I was too scared to go outside, so she came and got me. As a kid, I called it a white-faced anteater, and my family just dismissed me as seeing things, even though my dog had seen it too and was trying to get to it. My uncle told me it was probably a big-ass possum, but I knew damn well what a possum looked like, and that wasn't it. To this day, I'm 23 now. I still have nightmares where all I see is this thing standing in my yard at the tree line, staring at me. I always wake up screaming and sweating, and my girlfriend has to console me. Has anyone ever seen anything similar to what I described? I would be interested to hear about y'all's encounters and stories. Thanks for taking the time to read, and have a good day. So that's interesting. So my first thought is, what was the lighting situation? I feel like that definitely could have played a huge toll on the way it looked. There are also like diseases and things like that can make animals look scary. Also tricks of the mind. A child already very worked up. It could be something like that, but maybe you did see something. Maybe you saw some sort of creature, some sort of entity, but whatever it is with the dog reacting that way, there was definitely something there. Like, the dog would not have, I feel, if there was nothing there, the dog would have just not reacted. So there was definitely something there for sure. But what it was, we have no idea. So this next one is called My Roommate Keeps Playing Tricks on Me Even from the Grave. I used to share an apartment with one of my best friends. We went to the same school and we were best bros, so it only made sense to live together. Both our families aren't very nice, so we moved out at a relatively young age. We both were raised Christian but turned out to be Satanists, so naturally it was our thing to hide funny little satanic stuff somewhere the other would unexpectedly find it. He did it a lot more than me. One time, when I wasn't at school, I made a little demon out of clay in art class and put it in his locker. When I fell asleep in class, he drew a pentagram on my arm near my elbow, so I couldn't see it without looking in a mirror. I was proper confused for a moment when I saw it later. He used to also draw pentagrams on our apartment shower mirror when it got fogged. We were both unwell, and as the title of this post says, he is in the grave now. It's been 2 years now. I'm in the same school, same apartment. One day I was doing my hair in front of the bathroom mirror after showering. The mirror was a bit fogged up, and I was going to wipe it to see better until I noticed something. There was the shape of a pentagram on the mirror. My mind immediately went to my friend, but then I realized it's not possible that it stayed there for 2 years. The mirror has been deep cleaned multiple times. I looked closer at it, and it looked like the ones he used to draw. Started from the left up corner, last line barely there. He always drew it like that. No one else has been to my bathroom either, so it couldn't have been my other friends. I didn't draw it either. I'm a bit of a believer in the paranormal, so I think maybe he's just looking out for me and trying to cheer me up. I miss him. That is interesting, and that is also very sad. I'm sorry that you lost your best friend. That is definitely something that is a very hard thing to have to go through, especially when it's that close person to you, because then you don't have that close person to turn to when you need that help. So that is very sad and very tragic. He knows the situation that this person comes from, so maybe the friend is just looking out for him still. This one. So this one says, Mortician here, and I need help. And this one has a lot of comments and a lot of upvotes, even though it was only posted a few hours ago. So I'm guessing the title drew a lot of people in, and I'm very excited because morticians definitely see a lot of things. They work one-on-one with dead people, just like a lot of like health professionals might, but they're the ones like doing the embalming or cremation. They're the ones who are doing the funerals. So if anyone has had a haunted experience, a mortician has had a haunted experience. Post reads, I've been a mortician for over a decade, and I've never had any issues with anything paranormal. Around 6 months ago, a new girl started working at the funeral home. She and her family claimed to be sensitive. do different divination rituals, and are psychic. She's even admitted to me that she's done black magic to get back at an ex-boyfriend. So here's the deal. Like I said, nothing has ever happened to me regardless of the funeral homes I've worked in. I've been there alone all hours of the night, nothing. So the past few months, weird things have been starting to happen. My other co-worker has had weird things happen to her at home, like things randomly appearing, her son sleepwalking and speaking to someone outside, or pictures flying across the room. At the funeral home, we've heard whispering on multiple occasions and door slamming. Now comes my turn. The other night I'm embalming alone, and I thought I kept seeing someone standing out of the corner of my eye, but I kept telling myself it was just my mind messing with me. The door that leads outside is right outside of the room where I'm embalming. I have the door open to the embalming room. This door goes outside. It has a metal bar that you pull and latch to lock it. Everything is locked, obviously, since I'm alone. So no more than 5 minutes after I keep seeing someone standing out of the corner of my eye, I hear a massive slam against the metal bar in the door. It was so loud I about had a heart attack. My main question here is, what's y'all's opinion? Do you think it's someone I've helped over the years making themselves known, or do you think it's more? I personally think the new girl brought something with her. Her grandmother has even told her she has an attachment. I'm terrified and really don't want to work alone. I'm afraid if it's more than just a spiritual cleansing will make it more upset and make things worse. Help. I literally just clicked on the post and read it, and as I clicked on it and read it, a ton more comments were put. There's people currently typing, and there have been a lot more upvotes, so a lot of people have things to say. But I agree that it sounds like, from the context of the post, especially with the way this person was basically flaunting, like, oh yeah, I'm spiritual, I do divination, I have attachments, I da-da-da. She brought something. 100%. If you weren't having any issues before and this person showed up and claimed to be spiritual, claimed to be sensitive, whatever, and now you're having these things happen, but it's getting violent, it sounds like the attachment either moved on from her to the coworker and or the building, or potentially because she can see and interact with them, what was already there could be becoming more active to let you know that they're there because they know that somebody can see them. Another thing that could be happening too could be just that because she's a sensitive, because she uses different divination tactics and things like that, she has a lot of her own personal energy, and so because she already believes and she has a lot of that energy that she's putting out, they are taking her energy and using that to manifest and to do little things like slamming on a door, which, you know, it takes a lot of energy to do something like that, which would explain why you only heard it once. Maybe kind of standing there but out of the corner of your eye, that could, like opiates, that could be like paranoia, could be the mind playing tricks, but it also could be something manifesting just enough to let you know, I'm here, I'm watching you.
This one's for all my baby girls. I'm lurking and I'm stalking when you least expect it,
and I know you can see me type thing. But as far as things being thrown around and being slammed at home, and the child also now having issues, my understanding is that children can be a lot more susceptible to the paranormal and to things like that. So that's definitely something that you might want to talk to someone that's not your coworker about, because it sounds like she is potentially the problem. And I feel like with all this stuff going on, she would have made sure to cleanse herself and remove her attachment before working at a funeral home, before working for a mortician. It just feels very irresponsible on her part. It feels like she's very boasty about what she is and what she can do, but it seems like she can't really control what's going on around her, or she's like unleashed all these things onto her coworkers. And I feel like it should be like she should be responsible and take accountability and be like, okay, I need to fix this, or I need to find someone who can help me fix this, because that's a lot. So now to get into the comments. Someone says, if it's creeping out an embalmer, then that's enough evidence for me. So one person said, I'm a medium. When people with such an ability walk into a room and spirits realize they're being seen or heard, activity goes wild. This is just the norm for me now. That's what I think is going on. I would do whatever protection practices will make you feel more safe and comfortable. Someone responded, I'm a medium too. 100% that's what's happening. Good call. Someone else said, I'm also a witch too, and I don't think black magic is related. That's just my intuition talking though. And then someone like made a comment making fun of them. There was a few different comments that I'm not going to look at, but they might be doing that as well because some of them are downvoted. But yeah, didn't I just say that too? That it could just be because they know that they're seen and heard. So yeah, that's definitely possible. So someone commented, I'd like to preface by saying I fully believe in the existence of paranormal and supernatural or otherwise unexplainable, untapped abilities that humans can possess. My question to you, friend, what causes you to believe activity goes wild? All my life I've believed in ghosts, spirits, and demons, but the older I get, the more I wonder where we base these beliefs. I try not to apply the same objectivity I do to politics, and not only get info from within the echo chamber. Once again, I believe you're a medium, but how do you know ghosts realize they're being seen? What makes you so certain they have that ability? Even in the above post, ghost slams a door. We get that from movies. Or did the movies take that from the ghosts? I've seen things that have terrified me. I've had prayers answered, but my faith is shaken lately when I hear the same generic things. I don't know what I mean to achieve here. I'm just curious as to hear your opinion, and hopefully it provokes some good discussion in the matter. That's a very long comment thread. So many comments. Basically, they went back and forth talking about it. I'm not going to read all that because it was a lot. But if you want to go to the post itself, it's in r/paranormal encounters, and it's called Mortician Here, I Need Help. It was posted 15 hours ago. So if you go to new, or because it's so popular, if you go to like hot, it'll probably be one of the first ones to pop up. But it's also posted by user/special-temporary 801. So this is a comment from OP saying, I've never had issues at work, so I can't say that I'm lying. LOL, I wouldn't have spent the time typing all of that out for no reason. So it must be a bunch of people saying that it's fake in the comments. So someone responded, I've owned my funeral home from 1996 to 2008. In about 2000, I built a new 9,000 square foot facility and put in high-end security cameras all over the building. Within a few days, we noticed a white orb and instruments that moved on their own. Also noticed what was like puffs of smoke that had eyes, mouths, and arms, and swirly tail. Lots of those. Nothing bad, but for sure a presence, or many of them. I think things were good, and they would help me with knowing things that were going on in the building. Worked with it and had no problems. Others watched video and seen same things I did. Obviously there's something that happened and your energy goes somewhere. That's the joy of death. Someone said, do you have any of the videos? And someone responded to that saying, funny when people that make those kinds of claims go silent when you ask to see their evidence. And another person responded, exactly, dude types an essay, and as soon as he hears evidence, he goes ghost. So they're like accusing this person of lying, basically, is what a lot of the responses to that was. There are also a couple people saying to remember to look at what could actually be happening, that it may not be paranormal, especially with the slamming on the door. If it was just one slam on the door, it could just be someone trying to get in. An animal could, I don't know, maybe a gust of wind. I don't really know what that would be, but someone said to remember to pay attention and try to come up with a reasonable explanation, especially I think with someone like that around claiming to be spiritual and having all these abilities and doing witchcraft and things like that. I definitely would recommend, like this person said, just remembering to look at all the possibilities and not just immediately jump to paranormal. Okay, so that is it for today. Those were 3 Reddit stories of paranormal encounters. Let me know what you guys think of those paranormal encounters. Let me know in the comments, like the video, subscribe if you definitely want to keep seeing videos like this. I do plan on continuing to make them, hopefully, so hopefully you continue to watch them. If you choose to stay and watch anyway, I love you. Thank you. Have a good night.